on that knee through here. That's it. Pressing this anchoring elbow to the knee is what's going to increase the stretch. If you let your knee just collapse in, you might miss it completely. Alrighty, so just make sure the elbow is on the inside thigh near the knee, and then your hands wrapping around the back of your hamstring are pulling in. So you've got a push and a pull, and then remember your tailbone, anchor it down. So imagine your butt bone, your tailbone is like a peg, and you're pegging it through to the ground. Really anchor it through into the floor. So you've got 3 points of energy. Hamstring pull in, inner thigh push out, tailbone peg down. This will put you in the position to really open up and stretch through that butt cheek and hip. Notice if this feels different to the way we were stretching sitting up, or if you prefer it, or if you get a stronger stretch. And breathe. Swap legs. This feels so good. Hand underneath hamstring. Pulling the knee or that thigh, hamstring leg in. Elbow, that's pointing to the side. On the leg that's over the top and crossed over, we're going to push that. You see this arm is pushing against the inner thigh. My hands are still wrapping around the back of the hamstring. And again, remember if I'm pulling in too much, my bum lifts off the floor. So you want to make sure your tailbone anchors down, pegging the tailbone down, and then elbow into inner thigh, hamstring pulling in. 3 points. Add a little bit of pressure there as much as it feels good. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, next thing. Get a towel, a sarong, a Pilates ring if you've got one. I've got a sarong for now, which will do, or I said towel, didn't I? I said towel. Get your favourite little sarong, towel, whatever you got. Now, this is really, really good to help through the glutes and the lower back by stretching your hammies. Place your feet, let's do one at a time. 1 foot, like that. There. And I use the length of whatever towel or sarong you've got to wrap so that I've got a little bit of leverage with my hands. Elbows relaxed down. Again, you don't want your lower back to be lifted off, no gaps in the back. You want to flatten your back. Use your standing foot to give you a little bit more support. Push through your heel, relaxing your neck. And now gently pulling the sarong or the towel, toes to your nose. You should feel a good stretch. Now, if you can't straighten your leg, a soft bend in the knee is okay, but you will end up feeling more of a stretch in your calf muscle. So you just want to make sure you're breathing and taking it at the pace that feels good for you. Maybe you might like both legs in the sarong or towel. Feel the difference of what that is for you. And if you do have both legs in, I'd like to do this. Bend one knee at a time. Pulling gently the whole time, elbows drawing down towards the floor. And instead of bringing your feet over your head and your bum coming off, again, anchor your tailbone down. So you only need to have vertical legs, knees directly above hips. All right, so you want to keep the pelvis and the hips in the right place to get the stretch where you need it. Now this is a really good stretch coming up. It's a bit gross. When I learnt this, it made me nearly want to vom. So good luck. I'm going to turn this way. All right, so you're going to hold the towel or sarong with one hand. You're going to have it in the opposite hand. So your hand or arm that's on the leg side that you've got lifted is going to be flat on the floor for support. All right, from here, your leg stretched out on the mat is also another balancing point. Very gently, very slowly stretch your hand down the towel so your elbow can be now on the floor as an anchoring point. Now your arm is supporting your leg. Gently, this will feel gross, but you'll be okay. Gently draw it across. I feel it straight away. So your leg is going from vertical, heel above the hip, all the way across as far as you can. You might feel it shoot through your hip, hamstring, knee, ankle, calf. See if you can actually get your foot to go inwards. Sickle it. And anchoring point, keep your left butt cheek. If your left leg's up, I'm going to move up here so you can see my foot. You're going to just Anchor your left butt cheek onto the floor and draw your leg across. Remember, my elbow is on the floor for support in the towel sarong side. And notice the leg that's stretching. You want this side of your body to feel long. So send your hip instead of up to your armpit when your leg's drawing across. You want to send your hip away from your armpit, which lengthens out the spine. I just felt a huge adjustment in my body, and that hurts. Lengthen out through the hip away from your armpit, and that'll put the focus back into your glutes. And then now, just very gently hovering, breathing, gently pulling on the towel, remembering to lengthen. You can even grab your hip and push it away from your armpit. This will help. Gently coming back in, swapping sides, of course. All right. Okay, so opposite arm holds on to the towel. The arm that's on the leg that you're stretching goes to the ground for support, and your leg that's not being stretched stretches out all the way. All right, so now with the leg up, you're going to anchor that butt cheek down into the ground. You may already be feeling a pretty good stretch from the hammies, so you can bend your knee slightly. Keep your butt cheek anchored down, hip away from your armpit, really lengthen out the side of the body and draw it across. You might not go very far. It might only be 1 centimeter, and you're going to feel it in your hip, hamstring, knee, calf, ankle, foot. Stay here at least for 5 deep, slow breaths in and out. Remembering, I've got my arm off the floor, but I did say on the other side to let your arm slide or your hand slide down the rope or your ring or towel or sarong. Bring your arm down so you can anchor your elbow towards the floor for another balancing point. So now you can really relax the leg into the towel or the sarong and just let that leg go. If you find that you're holding and tensing, you're not allowing yourself to fully stretch. So see if you can breathe. Let go into the stretch and allow yourself to feel that rather than holding and tensing, contracting. Notice if this side is the same as the other or any different, maybe tighter or a little bit easier. And just gently pulling the leg up and letting it go. Bum stays down, soften through. You may notice a whole heap of circulation going through your hips and your legs already. It's a good one. If you feel like you can give this one a go as well. One leg stretching out in front. Top knee bend. Gently bring it across onto the floor. And let the lower back and the hip stretch over, looking away from the knee that's going over the body. Breathing in and out. Really make sure your tummy muscles are supporting you as you come back. So feel your tummy muscles activate before you bring your knee back up. And then swap to the other side. Leg out long, knee up and over. Gently twist across. You might notice one side stronger than the other. Notice if your shoulder can or cannot touch the mat or the ground. This side's tighter for me. The other side I could do this. You might feel a stretch in the chest. Really reach the arm out, looking away from the top knee. And stretch your legs out long. Let your arm come over your head. It's a nice little way to get out of it. Come back into your child's pose stretch. All right, so there's some moving stretches you can do. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can get into some real beautiful deep trigger points on your foam roller. Cool?